Welcome to my presentation. My name is Feliska Oriana, Master of Science Management student 2011. Through this slide, I will present about the effect of financial ratio and firm size on earnings per share. This research is for fulfilling my advanced statistics final exam. Let's start. The purpose of this study is to examine the effect of financial ratio and firm size, which are accounting information on earnings per share or EPS, by using 5 financial ratio. First, profitability ratio. Second, liquidity ratio. Third, leverage or debt ratio. Fourth, turnover or activity ratio. And the last is market ratio. Here's the outline. The paper divided into 5 sections. Section 1 is introduction. Section 2 contains literature review related to the issue discussed in the study. In the section 3 will be methodology of the research, include model and data measurement. Then we continue with the empirical result in the 4th section. In the section 5, it summarizes all part of the paper. Let's start with the introduction. The 5 financial ratios used in this study are return on equity or ROE as profitability ratio, current ratio as liquidity ratio, debt to equity ratio as leverage ratio, total asset turnover as turnover ratio, price to book value or PBV as market ratio. And the last factor is the firm size, which is derived from the firm's total asset. Based on previous research conducted by Groppoli and friends in 2000, they stated that financial ratios are categorized into 5 ratios. First, liquidity ratio, which measures the availability of cash to pay debt. Second, activity ratio that measures how quickly a firm converts non-cash asset to cash asset. Third, debt ratio, which measures the firm's ability to repay long-term debt. Fourth, profitability ratio that measures the firm's use of its asset and control of its expenses to generate an acceptable rate of return. And the last is market ratio, measure the investor response to owning a company stock and also the cost of issuing stock. Now we move to the methodology part. The null hypothesis in this research is the 5 financial ratio and the firm size, each of them has no significant correlation with the earnings per share. While the alternative hypothesis, it has the otherwise statement that each of them has significant correlation with earnings per share. This slide provides the model constructed from the hypothesis in the previous section. As I said before, in this research, I want to examine the effect of the 6 factors to EPS or earnings per share. So, here, the dependent variable is earnings per share, while the independent variables are the 6 factors. The data used here is the secondary data that taken from the annual financial statements of 100 firms. The firms are listed on Indonesian Stock Exchange based on Kompas 100 Index on the period of 2005 until 2010. Other source is previous journals from previous research to review the theoretical framework. Kompas 100 Index is the measurement of the 100 listed companies in Indonesia with high market capitalization and stocks that have good fundamental and good performance. There were predetermined criteria in choosing the sample. The criteria were as follows. First, the firm has published its complete financial statements for a 5-year period from 2005 to 2010. Second, The firm's fiscal year end is December, so in here the author used the financial statement in December. The purposive sampling with the predetermined criteria above resulted in 264 samples. Now we continue with the exception part. The 100 data used as sample in this study consists of some industrial sectors in Indonesia. And there is an exception in calculating of the current ratio for the finance and property real estate sector. For the two industrial sectors, there is no current ratio because commonly they don't have current assets and current liabilities in the financial statement, especially in the statement of financial position. This slide provides the flow of data processing. To analyze the data, the statistical tools that have been used are means, standard deviation, multiple regression technique, and stepwise method to ascertain best model for predicting the financial ratio's impact on stock return. And to determine the proportion of explained variation in the independent variable, the coefficient of determination called R-square has been worked out. Here we go to the results. On the table below, we can see the descriptive result of the data processing. And in the next slide, there will be interpretation and explanation of the score inside the table. Let's see the next slide. From the value of standard deviation based on previous table, EPS has the highest standard deviation and reached the value of 427.76. And the price to book value was also fluctuated, and each standard deviation is 306.95. While the standard deviation of total asset turnover is only 0.61, which means it's close to stability. Next, we continue with the stepwise regression results. As we see on the table below is the result of stepwise regression from the SPSS software. We can see that independent variable chosen by SPSS here is the price to book value and total asset turnover. And there are 4 excluded variables from the model. The detailed explanation will be given in the next slide. These are the explanation of the table. First, price to book value and total asset turnover have effect and positive relationship on earnings per share. Second, there are 4 independent variables that have no impact on earnings per share. The reasons are they are excluded variables and their t-values are not significant at 5% of alpha. The excluded variables are current ratio, debt to equity ratio, return on equity, and the log total asset. Finally, we reach the last part of this presentation, conclusion. First, based on stepwise regression result, it can be concluded that financial ratio, which are total asset turnover and price to book value, altogether affect earnings per share in positive correlation. Second conclusion, while other independent variables have no significant t-value, which means they have no impact on EPS. The last conclusion is the highest R-square is only 16.7%. It suggests that there are other factors that can affect the movement of firms' return. Considering the limitation in numbers of firms and observed period and other macro-level variables, It is suggested to increase the sample in both number of firms, observation period, and add some other factors for the next research. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.